Hey, what's up? Welcome to Camping Gear TV, episode 5. My name's Josh.
I'm Ben.
We're going to be talking about flashlights today. We got 4 flashlights actually, so let's get right into it.
Yeah, definitely something you need on every trip.
You need a flashlight on every trip because sometimes it gets dark.
And you need to see.
You can't see if you don't have a flashlight. Can vampires see in the dark?
Okay, vampires can see in the dark, but they don't need flashlights though.
Alright.
So we're talking to the non-vampire population.
Right, this episode probably won't appeal to vampires.
Nope.
But if you're not a vampire, some of these products might work for you. The first one is the Ever-Ready waterproof flashlight. It also floats. This thing sells for about $5 or $6. It feels kind of cheap in plastic, right? But for $5 or $6, what do you expect? And it's waterproof and it floats, so that's pretty sweet.
What's the light on it like?
The light on it is not too great. Honestly, it's not the brightest thing in the world. I would think that maybe this flashlight would be good if you were in a canoe or something, where you didn't need a lot of visibility. But if you're on your campsite or something and you're looking around and you're trying to get a wide range of light, this probably isn't the light for you.
This looks like you're only going to be able to see your feet and nothing else, like way out in the forest.
I think that's why it would be, the only real great use for this flashlight is if you're, trying to look in the pantry and you lost your power, or if you're just in your canoe and you only need a few feet of visibility in front of you.
What's the glass and the bulb like? Are they durable?
Yeah, it says it's a shatterproof lens. So I haven't smashed it with a hammer yet, but whatever. For $5 or $6, you get what you get.
Something tells me that on a $5 flashlight, you're going to be able to shatter this glass area with the lens. But
I'm guessing we could mess that flashlight up, but
right. Maybe that's for a later episode.
Right. Another one that has a similar construction is the Nightstar CS2 magnetic flashlight. Now this is actually a really interesting flashlight, and when we first got this, I was pretty excited about it because it requires no batteries and it has no bulbs. So it works with a little magnet in here that bounces back and forth, and you're supposed to be able to charge it with 40 seconds of shaking like this.
That's graphic.
Right.
Yeah.
So 40 seconds you're supposed to do this, and then you have about 10 minutes of charge after that. So you do this, you do this, you do this, you keep going with it, and then you turn it on, and I gotta be honest, it's not that powerful. If you keep shaking it, it might be alright. It's okay, but honestly, it's just not that much light.
I think from our testing, we could agree that it seems like you need to shake it for 10 minutes to get 10 minutes worth of light.
Right. It requires a lot of shaking. It seems to lose power kind of fast.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe some would say that, well, you're not shaking it hard enough or fast enough, but I think we're pretty normal users of flashlights.
Normal shakers, too.
Yeah.
That looked like normal shaking speed to me.
This thing's a pain in the ass, basically, is what it comes down to. I thought it would be kind of neat because you could, if you want a flashlight that you can just stow away in your house maybe, that you don't have to worry about, having batteries for when you lose power. Maybe this would be cool, but it's really not that practical because, you have to shake it constantly.
Yeah, it might be, we were thinking it might be a good option for the green camper,
Right.
not using batteries, but it's
Right.
just, you might be better off just walking around with the stick lit on fire. Maybe getting more light out of that, honestly.
It's about $20 or more to purchase this flashlight too. So for that price, you really should expect a much better product.
I think I would spend I'd rather spend the $5 on the other one. But
Yeah.
is there another option then of a non-battery, a green flashlight per se?
Well, the other one we have here is the AeroLink 101 manually rechargeable 3 LED hand crank flashlight. That's a mouthful.
Wow.
So this is the kind of thing that you crank like this, right? And then you turn it on, and it's got these 3 LED lights. So there's one. It's got a couple different settings, and there's 3. This thing's actually pretty bright, and with just a little bit of hand cranking, it gets going. So it works the same way as the Nightstar with no batteries, except it's a lot easier to work, and it gets started much quicker.
One thing I've noticed about it is that when you're using it, you can use that and crank it as you go,
Right.
and still be looking around. You're not gonna, on the shake one, you're not gonna be
Right.
able to shake it and really look around, and
Right.
it's
Yeah.
not gonna work.
It's kind of tough to be going around the room shaking.
Right. But with the turn one, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
When you're cranking it, I mean, it's bright when you're not cranking it, but when you're cranking it, it's pretty bright.
Yes. Yes. When you're cranking it, it's very bright.
When you're cranking it, It's very bright.
Right, right. So the other flashlight that we have is the standard Maglite. This is actually the Mini. It runs on a couple AA batteries, and this thing's about as durable as they come, as Maglite is known for.
Dangerous too standard, I guess you could say.
Yeah, yeah. This thing comes in a little carrying pouch, which is pretty sweet. It comes with an extra bulb that actually is held up in the backside, and then it's got a really cool option where you can kind of turn it into a little candle light display and set it up here, and the bulb does its thing like that. So it's a lot of, it's kind of neat in that regard. So what we're really dealing with here are a few different types of flashlights.
Yeah, tough to compare everyone between,
Right. So there's a couple things we're looking at here. We've got a durability concern. We're looking for something that's waterproof. That's kind of a cool feature. And then another thing we're looking at is flashlights that don't need batteries for emergency purposes, or just if you're tired of buying batteries, right? So for durability, certainly the Maglite is the way to go there. I mean, this thing, you could probably do a lot of naughty things to this, and it would probably make it through. For floating, I think the Everready is probably the way to go.
If the Maglite hits the water, it's going to be gone. And unless you're in 2 feet of water during the day,
right,
you're just not going to be able to see it to find it. It's going to sink to the bottom like that.
Well, I think the Maglite is only corrosion resistant too. They don't make any guarantees about it being waterproof,
right.
but
it certainly doesn't float, which I don't see what good
right.
being waterproof would be if it didn't float, which
right.
the Everready does both.
And the Maglite's only $12, so again, you're not going to be breaking the bank, and you got a real quality product.
Yeah, I just can't see us recommending though the Shade flashlight, which is the most expensive one
right.
out of our line.
Right.
And it's not very bright.
Right. So out of the four that we've talked about, the Nightstar, like Ben said, is the most expensive, and it's really not very good. Not a great product that we get very excited about. So in terms of a flashlight that's gonna work without batteries, definitely the Aerolink 101 hand crank Dealy Bob. This thing's actually pretty sweet. So what I'd probably do if I was doing such a thing is I'd probably have one of these at my house, and then I'd probably have one of these in my canoe, and then I'd probably have one of these with me in my camping gear, in my tent or in my backpack. So that's what I think.
There we go.
Yeah.
CampingGearTV.com.
Thanks for watching.
See you guys next time.
Peace.